So, in case you didn't know, my garden is in the cottage garden style. The thing I love about cottage garden style is there are no real strict rules about what you can do. There's definitely some guidelines and things that have kind of been done throughout history, but really the whole idea behind a cottage garden is that you just kind of work with what you've got and you create a space with so many different interesting things in it. Lots of, old pots and recycled things and herbs mixed in with the flowers and such, fruit trees. That's what I think of when I think of a cottage garden. And so today I wanted to go over some of my absolute favorite cottage garden plants. Most of these are hardy perennials. We do have some annuals in there too because they're also essential. So these are some of my absolute favorites. Not all of these would be considered maybe historically classic cottage garden plants, but like I said, there are no real strict rules with cottage gardens, so I wanted to include some of the favorites that I've got in my cottage garden that I'd recommend you have as well. By the way, I'm trying to hit 3,000 subscribers, so if you haven't already, consider subscribing for all of the garden content, tips and tricks, and more. Now, I can't imagine a cottage garden without some Achillea, also known classically as yarrow. This is plate of gold. No, this is cloth of gold. I have plate of gold, which is right over here. Very similar. This one's a little bit more sort of faded, which I do really like. And Achillea just comes in so many different colors. It's a plant that loves dry conditions, so in cottage gardens, a lot of it is just kind of letting your garden get on with it. That's sort of the historical logic behind it. And yeah, this is one of those plants that'll just get on with things. It'll self-seed, it'll do what it wants to do. It's not going to be too much hassle. And like I said, there are so many different colors. So let me show you a few. Here is a beautiful lilac one. I cannot remember the name of this, I'm so sorry, but if you search up lilac Achillea, you should be able to find it. Like I mentioned, we have the plate of gold, which is the very strong yellow one, perfect for prairie planting schemes. We do have more. I'm just going to walk over to them. Oh, here's one of my absolute favorites. Look at this absolute beauty. This is a salmon colored one. Again, I'm going to try and find the name and put it up on screen. I don't remember right now, but look at it. Isn't this one of the most gorgeous plants you've seen? This is such a cottage garden staple. I love it. And right next to it, actually, we have a few more cottage garden staples, which I love. We have the Astrantia, which is very popular in floral arrangements. This color scheme, I just love. It looks so good. Astrantia is a fairly low growing plant, and it's just a cottage garden favorite of mine. Very prolific flowerer. Looks great right until the end of the year. There's so much I could say about this one that makes it incredible. It's just really one of those great plants that, in my opinion, you absolutely have to have in your garden. Next to it, we have a geranium, which is a cottage garden classic. I remember my nan having geraniums in her garden. I mean, they're wonderful, They carpet mat forming plants. So they'll create a really nice carpet of flowers. This one covers up so much space despite being just one plant. This one is Geranium Dreamland, but I have so many more. For example, here's another very famous one known as Geranium Roseanne. Purplish bluey flowers, really, really lovely. Geraniums are a must-have in your cottage garden to fill those gaps on the floor. They're incredible. How about a shrub? This is a hydrangea. This is Hydrangea Annabelle. Now, despite this actually being in my prairie border, also known as my dry border, this one really likes to be wet. This one has to be kept very wet. It's called a hydrangea after all. So yeah, you need to keep on top of watering these, but these shrubs will grow nice and big and give you that classic cottage garden look. This is a sort of white one. Hydrangea Annabelle just comes up in white, like you can see. It's very, very strong. It'll grow. It'll take a decent amount of time to grow to its full extent because it is a proper shrub. It's not a perennial plant, but yeah, it's definitely one to have in your garden. Here's another which is very well hidden. This is Campanula. This is a beautiful blue one called Pritchard's variety, which probably wouldn't have been in your traditional cottage garden because this is a more sort of taller, kind of new wave Campanula. Here is one of the more classic ones that you can see here, the matte forming purple one, which was so popular back in the day. I'm pretty sure I can remember my nan having some of these. Yeah, Campanula is definitely one of those cottage garden staples that I think of. You see it cascading over walls and such. It's a really, really lovely plant, so definitely one to have in your cottage garden. Here's another one that I feel like has become very underrated. This is an Erodium, William Bishop. It's very, very tiny. Again, matte forming with these beautiful tiny little pink flowers. You can get different colors as well. I believe it comes in other varieties. But yeah, this particular one is a favorite of mine. I just really like it. It reminds me of like a miniaturized geranium. It's pretty similar, to be honest with you, in terms of the leaves and everything. So yeah, definitely a lovely cottage garden staple. I feel like I'm using that word a lot, but hey, it's true. This is the Silene, also known as the rose campion, which is, I believe, the most common name for it. That's what I knew it as. And yeah, it's got beautiful silvery foliage with these hot pink colored flowers. It stands out a lot, which sometimes I do feel a bit conflicted on, because I wanted this border to be a bit more, I don't know, subdued. But you can't deny this is a cottage garden classic, and it's such a prolific flowerer. I mean, look how many flowers this has on it already, and there's hundreds more probably coming. So yeah, this is an absolute classic cottage garden fave. And if you want a plant that'll stand out with some fairly unique foliage, this is one for you. Just keep in mind, it's a fairly short-lived perennial, meaning, you know, after a few years it will probably die off and get less and less. So it's not maybe as good as some of the others on this list, but hey, it's there. I can't do this video without mentioning lavender. I mean, of course, this is lavender Hidcote, English lavender. What a beautiful cottage garden staple. I mean, it really is one of the absolute best. It's beloved by pollinators. It flowers for so long. It's easy to cut back. You can grow hedgerows out of them. I don't know what else to say aside from this is just a wonderful one to have in your garden. Centranthus ruber, also known as red valerian, is another great cottage garden favorite. This thing will self-seed like crazy, so if that's a concern, keep that in mind because it can become very, very prolific around your garden. But I just think it's so great. I think it's a must-have. I've got a more reddish one back there, and then I have a white one over here. So there's a few different colors to choose from, but this is the classic one, the reddish pinkish color, and it's amazing. It'll grow a little bit taller than this as well. It's fairly low down, this one. As you can see, this one just goes above my fence right at the back, so they definitely can get taller. We of course have the roses. Now my rose isn't looking too good at the moment. This is a David Austin rose. I believe this is Gertrude Jekyll. It's one of those anyways. A rose is just a cottage garden classic. Even though mine doesn't look too good at the moment, I had to include it because you've got to have a rose. I know I said there's no rules for cottage gardens, so if you really hate roses, then fair enough. But if you don't, you've got to have a rose. They're just a cottage garden must have. I would not have my garden without a rose, you know, so that's definitely one for you to have for sure. Like I said, I also recommend having a fruit tree. Back there, as you saw, I've got a Morello cherry tree, and I've also got a plum tree which is growing up. A few other things as well that I think cottage gardens definitely have is herbs. You've got to have some herbs mixed in. Like here's my sage. I pretty much just use this as a big shrubby ground cover type plant at the front of this bird bath border. Don't ask me why. It's just, it was there originally and I didn't want to get rid of it. So it works. I mean, why not? I can use it in cooking. It looks nice. It covers a lot of ground. I think it's great. And another particular favorite that loads of people use because of their beautiful flowers is the chives, which I've got down here. Not in flower at the moment, sadly, but it will happen eventually. Yeah, you've got to have that in your garden. Another favorite, of course, is geums. People absolutely love these. These are kind of the newer sort of varieties. This is totally tangerine, not one that your grandma would have, you know, because this is kind of more recent, I think. But there are lots of classic geums that people love, so definitely one to recommend. Now, as I mentioned, you can't just have perennials, you've got to have some annuals or biennials as well. Here is the beautiful cosmos. I really, really love cosmos. Yes, they're an annual, but they're a must-have annual. I mean, that one's beautiful. This one's so beautiful as well. Oh, keep deadheading them and they'll just come back and back and back. They weave in and out of all of your other plants, looking absolutely gorgeous. There is some dark sort of pinkish purple ones. Yeah, cosmos, I can't recommend enough. They're also so easy to grow from seed. This was really my first year growing stuff from seed, and here they all are, looking massive in the month of June. So very, very easy. Just make sure when the plants are young, you pinch them in the middle. That's basically once they've got 3 stems, you count up 1, 2, and then in the middle, you'll cut that off. And basically what that does is it'll make the plant a lot stronger, give you more flowers. It's just a win-win situation. So yeah, definitely I recommend having some beautiful cosmos weaving in and out of the plants in your garden. Now here's a few that I'm going to mention that I think you should have that I can't have because I've got cats, and they are foxgloves, which are a staple, hollyhocks, and also lupins. Now I think all 3 of these are pretty poisonous to cats, and whilst there probably are some plants in my garden that aren't great for great for cats, I know in particular that these 3 are very bad for them. So if you have cats, you might not want them, but if you are free of cats, unlike me, then I recommend having them in your cottage garden because they're lovely and they're beloved by pollinators. So yeah, those are 3 that maybe I'll have out in my front garden, but not here in the back where the cats roam around. So yeah, that's everything for this video. Some of my cottage garden faves. Let me know some of yours in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear. If you made it to the end, then be sure to leave a like and also subscribe, and hopefully I can reach my goal of 3,000 subscribers. So I'll catch you in the next one.